A young man from a rich family, one day, goes to see a circus in the city. It was a wonderful performance that got the attention of the king himself, and many hundreds and hundreds of people had come to watch. In the circus there was a star attraction. It was a beautiful young actress who was a highly skilled acrobat, the daughter of the head acrobat of the troupe. She entertained the crowd, much to the delight of everyone, not only with skilled acrobatics, but singing and dancing while performing. The young man was much taken by the girl, and wanted to marry her. The parents of the young man did not like the idea, however. They were rich merchants with a high standing in society, and the standing of the girl's family was far beneath them, they thought. The young man was adamant. He went on a hunger strike. He would either marry the girl or die. Eventually, however, the parents relented, as their son would not change his mind. The overjoyed young man gets married to the girl, and becomes part of the circus troupe. However, as he was not an acrobat himself and had no useful training, he had to do the menial work around the group. He would feed the animals, fetch water, and ended up doing whatever he could to be useful. Soon, a baby was born to the young couple and they became a family. The young wife, the beautiful acrobat, however, was not happy with her life. Being a skilled acrobat, she didn't find it acceptable to be married to a man she thought had no skill in any useful work. One day, to spite her husband, the young actress sung a lullaby to the child, insulting him and the work he did around the troupe. Learning thereafter that his wife did not care whether he stayed or left, the young man was much taken aback, and felt sad and rejected, and wondered what he could do to remedy his situation. After thinking long and hard, the young man realized what the problem was. His wife, who was a skilled acrobat, looked down upon him because he had no skills in the profession that she held in high regard. And the solution to him was clear. He had to learn acrobatics himself, to win back his wife. So he asked the head acrobat, who was his father-in-law, to teach him the ropes. The father-in-law agreed, and the young man began his training. And due to his hard work and diligence, within a year he mastered the art himself, and became highly skilled at it. In due course, he began touring city after city, town after town, displaying his skills, and entertaining multitudes of people. One day, the young acrobat happened upon a city where the Buddha resided at the time. And he prepared to have his exhibition in the city that morning. The Buddha, meanwhile, surveying the world as who to help that day, saw in his psychic vision the young acrobat, and what would transpire if they were to meet. So taking his bowl and robe, and accompanied by several monks, the Buddha set out to the place where the acrobat was entertaining a large crowd, in the middle of the city. When the Buddha got there, the young acrobat was stood on top a steep pole, somersaulting brilliantly, to the amazement of the crowd. The Buddha, judging the situation wisely, and to get the attention of the acrobat, caused through his psychic powers for the entire crowd to look at him, instead of the acrobat. When the young man saw that no one was paying any attention to him any longer, but that everyone was looking at the Buddha, he was taken aback and disappointed. And the Buddha, perceiving the state of mind of the acrobat, got one of his disciple monks to go near the pole and to ask him to resume his performance. Now the acrobat became highly pleased, thinking that the Buddha himself wanted to see his exhibition. With that thought, he sprang into the air with mighty force, somersaulted a dozen times, and landed back on top of the pole, balancing himself. The Buddha, right then, seeing the time was ripe, addressed the acrobat with a stanza. By letting go of the things of the future, the past, and the present, and releasing his heart from all attachment, said the Buddha, he will be able to liberate himself. And even as he was atop the pole, balancing himself, the young acrobat realized the state the Buddha was pointing to, and then and there, became fully liberated. The now fully awakened acrobat descended from the pole, and paying his respects to the Buddha, requested the teacher to admit him to the order of monks. The Buddha consented. The young acrobat became a monk that day. After some time, hearing that her husband has become a monk, the female acrobat also decided to follow her husband, and entered the order of nuns under the Buddha. In due course, she too attained to the final awakening herself.